comics are stupid.
No Harry Potter movie is good.
They're like, give me the Snyder Cut. Oh, sorry, just walk in front of you here. Gonna put my popcorn down. Oh, sorry, gotta put this here.
Universal needs to sue Sony.
Hey, I'm an idiot. I was fired from Fox. Let me go.
I'd like actually to see Venom just crush Spider-Man.
Hello everyone, so I'm back today, and well, in the more businessy side of the entertainment world, there's a lot to talk about, so I want to talk about it because that's kind of my thing, you know? So, MGM, the production company that has been on the imaginary market for a while, not imaginary, sorry, but like the theoretical market, I guess, for a while in terms of being sold, since I think it's been at least a year. And so it looks like, unless something crazy happens, it will actually be sold. I did make a video on MGM initially going essentially up for sale, like when you have a house and you put a for sale sign on the lawn and, people start touring it and stuff. Like, that was kind of like the point it was at. Now it looks like there's a bidder, like when people bid on a house, they'll be like, I want this, I'm going to pay you this much, whatever. So it's kind of like that, right? At this point, you have someone who's bid on this house or this company, and they're hoping to be able to get it, right? So we're at this point now where Amazon has placed a $9 billion bid for MGM. Now, this is I'm going to talk about this from Amazon's perspective. I'm also going to talk about this from MGM's perspective because obviously they love it. Now, personally, when MGM was kind of in my mind, it was about a 12 to $14 billion in terms of its value, and so I thought that would be a very good kind of place for it to go. And now, just to put this in perspective, because a lot of numbers sometimes, like, 9 billion seems like a lot, but in reality, maybe it isn't. So, in perspective, it's much smaller than the bigger deals done recently. For example, Disney Fox being around $70 billion, Warner Bros. And AT&T, which was $85 billion, and Warner Bros. And Discovery, which we will actually talk about later in another video, which was $43 billion. And I think the best kind of comparison for MGM to Amazon, along with, in terms of that kind of money and content, was the CBS to Viacom deal, which was about $12 billion, which is around that $9 billion, obviously. Now, in history, right, there have been typically a few things that determine price when it comes to studios, right? So there's the infrastructure, be that content infrastructure, movie production infrastructure, and previous deal infrastructure, which definitely MGM has. Areas of content, diversity areas of content, so for example, movies, TV, news, etc., sports, all that stuff, which they only really have movies and TV, and then IPs and catalog of content, right? The next two. IPs, of course, being those individual properties that they can use and they can build off of, right? So, like, for example, when Disney bought Fox, they got the IPs of the X-Men and Alien and Home Alone and all those things. So now they can make movies and stuff based on these characters. And then catalog content, well, now the IPs, let me talk about the IPs in terms of MGM. So the IPs, from what I've understood from MGM, are not massive. You have James Bond, you may have a few others, but they don't have that, elite level of IPs, especially in today's age where everything is IP based, because they have a lot of smaller films. Obviously they have, we'll talk about some of the things they do have, but yeah. Along with that, of course, they do have about a 4,000 movie catalog of content, so that obviously is not, too bad either for Amazon. And now when it comes to what they actually have, well, MGM is actually known for the stuff, including, but not limited to, the Bond franchise, the Creed/Rocky franchise, the Pink Panther franchise, and tons of other stuff like Silence of the Lambs and TV plus, like Fargo, The Handmaid's Tale, and Teen Wolf. They also have, like, Survivor and a bunch of other things. And so that's the kind of deal in terms of that. And I think Bond and they also Legally Blonde. I don't know if I said that before, because that's kind of an important one. And I do believe that the movies that they're going to get will definitely be able to basically justify it. Now, the question I want to talk about as well is the implications for Amazon and other people. So, this was something, this was definitely a production kind of company that I was like, you know who would love this? Because it's not IP heavy, but it's very content heavy. Would be someone like Apple, because Apple TV Plus, they aren't starved for, IPs, but, they would love to just have a back catalog content. And I think this would have given them that back catalog that they really want. And because right now, if you go on Apple TV Plus, it's a very bare bones kind of streaming service. And I think that it was kind of surprising that they actually ended up not bidding on this, or at least not outbidding Amazon, because I definitely think they could. Now, Amazon, this gives them the much needed content, and although I think Amazon should be more in the IP game in general, I think a back catalog of content like this and the infrastructure to produce more content definitely does help their goals, because they do have very ambitious kind of future plans, which may not be the case for Apple. We don't really know right now. Now, who can Apple buy? Okay, because it always comes back to Apple and Apple TV Plus for some reason. So Apple, in terms of being the big one that doesn't really have anything right now, the big question I think comes to, well, what is left right now? Now, if you told me before the pandemic, I would have said Netflix is a chance. It's a very small chance. I might have said Netflix. Now, I mean, if we were pushing it, Sony, but again, it doesn't look like either of those are Netflix. I mean, definitely not anymore. But even Sony's kind of like, not really. So that's kind of like the weird place that they're in, right? Where it's kind of like not really, but I don't know. I mean, I think CBS, prior to the Big actually getting bought, would have been a perfect place to go, but I mean, we knew that wasn't going to happen, obviously, because Apple was not, as invested as they are now when the CBS thing went down. But this acquisition, just kind of go back to that Amazon acquisition or theoretical acquisition, would be very good for Amazon Prime, and them being able to further Prime, right? Because again, the upcoming content like Legally Blonde 3, James Bond, No Time to Die, and the rest of that stuff is very valuable in terms of IPs and in terms of stuff. In the Creed 3 you've got a lot of valuable content there, which I think will be very useful. But yeah, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful to help you understand what's going on, then please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you were confused about anything, if you have any other questions relating to this deal, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.